hole of a sudden death playoff to win the Travelers Championship and grab his first PGA victory at the age of 44. After they both parred the 18th in the first hole of sudden death, they returns to the 18th tee. This time, Duke knocked his approach inside 3 feet and sank the winning birdie putt after Stroud's long birdie try trickled by the hole. Both players finished the regulation 7-2 holes in 12 under par at TPC River Highlands in Cromwell, Connecticut, with Duke firing a 4 under 66 and Stroud chipping in at the last post to post a 67 and force the playoff. Graham Delay of Canada finished 1 stroke out of the playoff on 11 under par 269 after shooting 69.
That was until Chris Stroud hit the...
That's it on Sports News.
A news track at this hour. Thank you for watching. I am Adeshewa Josh.
And I am Neota Igbe. View from the Top is up next.
This is a public service announcement from the Future Project in association with the Youth Office of the African Union. What is the future?
Yeah, the future is the
future is, I think the future is,
www.thefutureafrica.com/awards. The Future Awards. Inspiration begins here.
Hello and welcome. I am Modile Sharafa Yusuf and this is View from the Top. It's my pleasure to welcome you and thank you for joining us today. I'm also delighted to be welcoming to the set today Haja Amina Titi Atiku Abubakar, the founder of Whatclef. Before we launch into our conversation, here are a few things I'd like you to know about my guest. Your Excellency, thank you for appearing on View from the Top today.
Thank you.
June 16 is observed every year as the Day of the African Child. What would you say are the biggest challenges facing the African child today?
June 16th, to start with, was observed in South Africa, in Soweto, in 1976. When there was an upheaval, when the children of Soweto, they revolted, against their educational, the sort of education they were giving them. And many of these children were killed. And in 1991, AU deemed it fit, to honor this to honor these children that were killed in Soweto during that time. And since then, you know, it has become a celebration, you know, to celebrate the so-called fallen heroes who are these children of ours. And that day has been set aside in the whole of Africa to honor these children. And it has created a platform for children to engage, you know, in let them come together on that platform to profile their own solution on challenges that affect them psychologically. So since that time, this day has been set aside to celebrate the children.
What, in your opinion, is the biggest problem that children have in this day and age? Is it educational? Is it social? What are the problems that are facing the African child, and how can we tackle them?
You see, the biggest problem facing the African child is, number one, is education. Because most of the African children are not educated. Because if they are well educated, they will be well informed. But most of them are not educated because their parents are not educated. And, you know, they don't even deem it fit for these children to go to school. Because if they go to school, you know, these children will know their rights. And a large percentage of these children are not in school. And this is exactly what is affecting the Nigerian children. And because if they are educated, they will know that, you know, children are supposed to go to school, they are supposed to have better amenities, they are supposed to interact with others and so on and so forth. But because they are not educated, most of them live in villages and in hamlets, so they don't know their rights.
What prompted you to set up Wordclef?
Wordclef, you know, I was a teacher in Kaduna, a lecturer in Kaduna Polytechnic for almost 10 years. And here in the classroom, you know, you see children, I mean these ladies, you know, at times they don't come to class, and at times if they come, you see them well spent. And who are you, a poor lecturer, to ask them? But as a mother, as a sister, as an auntie to them, I have taken the pains, you know, to be asking these children then, that why are they looking so well spent? And the answers I got from them, I was not very satisfied. You know, some of them will say it's because they have gone on pilgrimage to Rome, and that is why they are so tired, and so on and so forth. And, you know, a poor teacher in the classroom, they will make you to start all over, you know, teaching them what you have taught others when they were not there. And as a lecturer, you know, I went to Rome myself to do a course in 1986. And the first thing I observed, when the plane landed at the airport, you know, when we disembarked, you know, it was a different bus that took those of us with a green passport through the immigration. When we got to the immigration, I observed that, you know, those of us carrying the green passport were the last one to be checked. But all this, you know, didn't occur to me until when I got to town. Then I started seeing so many black Nigerian girls, you know, on the street of Rome. So when I saw these girls, I was so inquisitive. I wanted to know what actually brought them, what they were doing there. I'm not just seeing them as good ladies on the street of Rome. You know, I saw them in skimpy clothes, and the way they were dressed, I never liked it. So when I started asking questions, then it started coming to me that some unscrupulous people in Nigeria, they call them madams, that they are the ones, you know, they facilitate visa, everything, you know, the documents, you know, for these children to travel. And that when they come, you know, they will deceive them at home. They make them to go through some voodoo rites. They tell them that there is a better life out there, and that even when they get there, that the lire is being picked on the street of Rome. And despite the fact, you know, they don't speak English in Rome, you know, they deceive many of them. They tell them that they are going to be teachers, or they even tell some that they are going to, like the uneducated ones, they tell them that they are going to pick tomatoes on the farms and that they are going to make huge amount of money. And at the end of the day, if these girls are being taken, you know, it is just the opposite. They seize all the traveling documents from them. They give them the skimpy clothes and ask them to go out into the comrade